and welcome. This is Daniel with the Legacy of Daniel show, and I thank you for joining me. Welcome. Uh, this is still a relatively new adventure for me. I am still learning the art of podcasting, the art of speaking, and having all my thoughts out there publicly. Still not getting many views on the shows, but this is new, and I know the YouTube algorithm will take some time and my opinion will not be the most exciting to listen to, but I strive to dive into the heart of the beast and take back all that it has stolen from who knows how many lives, souls lost, intellectual property stolen and just completely ripped up and abused, people's identities stolen, through this beast, um, defamation, slander, interfering with people's progress and their right to an identity, to their free will, their creativity, to acquire skills and knowledge to be a productive, competent member of society, fulfilling a purpose and meaning, not just for themselves and their life and their destiny, but the greater destiny of the country. And so that is what we talk about on this show, the Manifest Destiny show, inside of the uh, Legacy of Daniel podcast. And today I'm gonna talk about intellectual property and what intellectual property is. And intellectual property is so crucial to society, and there seems to be groups of people out there that just believe that they could take whatever they want from another person, and all intellectual property is available for free uh, without any type of first getting approval, without any form of payment, without any consideration for what they're saying is actually true, without any consideration for the fact they may be putting a bad image on the person who first created the intellectual property. And so I've dealt with intellectual property theft before, and as a result, that whenever there is intellectual property that's stolen from you, there's generally also defamation and slander that is associated with it, and you cannot survive in a world where your intellectual property is being stolen. You cannot have a career where your intellectual property is being stolen, intently being stolen and used right in front of you, so that another individual can literally push you out of your life, your career, for his own petty little gain because he just needs attention. And so that happened to me before, and it was very uh, it is quite an experience having your career and your intellectual property, something you went to school for and you studied and you even paid fees to be a part of another group to learn maybe a skill or knowledge, and you were loyal to, and everything just completely goes down in flames because one person decided that he needed attention, and he wanted attention, but because he wasn't getting it, he would just start stealing other toys from other kids in daycare center until he got what he wanted. And that's basically how he acted, this person, and what they did. So I guess today we'll talk about how to deal with this type of situation. It's not easy, and maybe a lot of people don't deal with it, but or maybe you see it happening, and maybe how you could protect other people or protect intellectual property or be a fighter for intellectual property, um, private property rights, and identity that comes with intellectual property, free will, creativity, someone getting a developing a skill and knowledge from intellectual property and developing a vocation, and being able to support a family, have a career, a member of the community, having purpose and meaning, all great things, and giving a greater purpose to society as a whole, bringing in new property, new information to a community, and continue on the progress to manifest destiny. And so we can't allow things like this to happen. We can't allow intellectual property to be stolen or damaged or just ripped up and abused, and people think that they could, uh, reword things just so they please. Um, it's very damaging, very, very damaging. As we can see in society, that no one really wants to come forth with anything very genuine to help society progress. And as a result, we just, is one of the reasons why we have all this AI. People constantly just being taken advantage of, having their property stolen, not being allowed to be creative or flourish. And so people spread out and people seek other avenues, ventures, different things where they could, I guess, seek protection of their identity, their intellectual property, and hopefully have a way to their creativity to flourish and have some sort of meaning or purpose in society. And so we need to, as a society, make sure that we are ensuring that there's avenues for the protection of intellectual property and creativity, so that we can become and we can be a true being with meaning and purpose in society. And so, if you have intellectual property, um, whatever it is, maybe you um, have art, a book, maybe you're into journalism, maybe you're an undergrad writing a paper, um, whatever it may be, photography. You need to, or even just like a podcast or something, even if it's something that you don't even publicly put out there, it's just maybe you have a journal, maybe you have artwork that's kind of hidden away. Uh, this is all intellectual property. This is all very valuable to your life, your foundation, your identity, something that you could literally stand on and be. And that is very important to all society. These are avenues to give you meaning and purpose, to join other groups, be part of society in unique ways, and also share your information, share your intellectual property to help society grow through the acquiring and dispensation of new information, new creativity, which seems to be what human beings are always thriving for, is new information, new stories, and which is probably why AI. One of the reasons why AI is so popular is we constantly can be receiving new information, seeking new stories, and which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. But we need to make sure that we are protecting ourselves and we are make sure we are using other people's intellectual property appropriately. It's We need to make sure that we are uh, making sure the information and property is being used in a means that is purposeful and meaningful, both for the creator and for the user. And when it's not used like that, lives are destroyed, identities ruined, and it really does nothing for society. So how can you protect your intellectual property? Well, I'm not really an expert on that, but um, ultimately you always have to have a bit of a closet where you keep your treasure, and that's where you keep your most you know um, what's the word I'm looking for? The treasure that you just that's yours, and yeah, it's where you keep it and you secure it. It's always there to never come out. And then you have some intellectual property that it's used for public uh, uh, use for public. You can sell it. Maybe you're giving it away for free, whatever it may be. And you have to see it as something that is yours. And it's yours for a reason, because it's giving you meaning, purpose. It's giving you identity, maybe giving you a job. You're learning a skill that maybe give you a job, and where you can become a competent member of society, and kind of continue the wheel of progress. Um, and then you have to decide, when you put stuff out there, how do you want to put it out there, and what is it to you when it's out there? Is it just out there just for people to have, or is it something like almost like another foundation that you're building? You don't want to just throw your intellectual property out there. You don't want to wave it in people's faces. You kind of want to present it in a very meaningful and purposeful way. Say, here, this is what I've been working on, why I've been working on it, and this is what I believe it can do for society, for your life, because this is what it's done for mine. It made my life more beautiful, more peaceful. I find joy in this intellectual property, and I'm hoping that by bringing it forth to the marketplace, that it can do the same thing for you. and that is where you begin the um, really begin the exchange of your intellectual property for something in return that you want. Now, yes, you can just give it away for free if you want to. Nothing wrong with that. But there needs to be, if you're just going to give it away for free, which is fine, you need to give it away in a way that the user is not just taking it and run. You want there to be some form of almost like an anchor to your intellectual property, where it's something that is, when someone goes and grabs it, it is quite heavy. It's like picking up a really heavy textbook. It's like, wow, this is what I have to study to get through this class and pass the exam. It's kind of how your intellectual property needs to be. It's not just a mystical thing. It's not just thrown out there. It's not words. It's not just a painting or paper. It is very, very real, very tangible, um, and it can do a lot of provide a lot of beauty, a lot of good to another person's life, if that's what you want it to do and want it to be. Uh, so if you have that intellectual property, uh, focus on roughing out the edges once you've completed it on how you want to make it publicly available, and just like, I want to use this. I want this to be something for all of society, so that society can become more beautiful, and the lives that partake in this intellectual property can come to understand something new that can help make them and their lives, and those who partake in their lives, more beautiful, and maybe lead them on a new path in life to a higher um, form of prosperity. And that is what intellectual property is for, and that is why we need intellectual property rights. Um, we need better protection of intellectual property rights, private property rights, protection of creativity, allowing individuals to have an identity through their own self-determinism, having the right to their own divine right to seek all this and to have this in a safe and comfortable place where they can thrive and become prosperous, and hopefully a very meaningful and purposeful member of society that contributes in however they feel they can or want to contribute to society through the delivering of their intellectual property. Um, so that is all I have for today in this podcast. It's uh, intellectual property is a very hotly debated subject. But in this, I just want people to really focus on the individual and what the individual can do and provide for society, and how we can better go about protecting individuals or intellectual property, um, and then how we, the protectors, can also go about hopefully leading, going forth into a society that one ensures the protection of intellectual property, but also we come to understand how to acquire intellectual property, how to use it, and how not to use it. So there's a lot that needs to be discussed and thought about when it comes to intellectual property. It's not just it's not just knowledge, not just information. We're talking about someone's actual being, their soul, their vocation, having meaning and purpose in life. It's not just a report card, not just a degree, it's not just a new book, new piece of paper, photography, or whatever it may be that someone's developing, wants to develop, or may come to develop through a series of educational classes or something. It is someone's life, someone's real life, that gives them meaning and purpose in life, in this society. And in a society and world where people are constantly being pushed out, um, we need to kind of change that and to stay people with intellectual property who generally want to be competent and strong and have a meaning and purpose in society need to uh, have their room to breathe, because they're going to lift up who knows how many people around them through their pursuit of whatever it is they're pursuing. And everyone needs to have their own unique intellectual property that they can offer into society. That is kind of how we um, in a way kind of associate with one another through the uh, exchange of information and knowledge, and we break down barriers, almost like the exchanging of culture. But now we can exchange intellectual property and information, knowledge that comes with it, and hopefully the beauty that comes with maybe something new that comes to the marketplace that can enhance everybody's life. And this is why it's very important to understand that intellectual property is not just a one-way road; it's a two-way road. It's very inclusive, at least it should be, because if you're not willing to accept new information, new ideas, um, but yet you're still expecting yourself or others to clear a path for you to grow, whether it's in a school setting or um, in a corporate world, you're just expecting to just get a promotion without really the acceptance of new ideas. Um, you're just not really doing anything for yourself, for the world, for others who are trying to bring information to the marketplace. So, um, you know, be seek developing your own intellectual property. So many avenues now, and seek ways to protect it, understand it, and become a bearer of intellectual property, a protector and defender of intellectual property and people's rights to intellectual property, creativity, identity, and how it can all come to make our world a more beautiful place when we truly understand the importance of intellectual property, protecting it, and dispersing it in effective ways that will make our world a better place, a more beautiful place, and break down barriers where there are barriers.